Good morning. This is Sadi Phayet. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to adjust this a little bit as I always have to do. And I'm going to turn off the overhead light because it's a little bright. This is just a test run because I haven't done a live in a while because I was having some technological difficulties. And so this morning I realized I have not had a lot of trouble with my laptop lately. Okay. And so I thought I would try and do a live, which is why I'm here now. Okay, anyway, I'm so goofy. So I've been doing, before I say that, I'm sorry. Like I said, this is Sadi Phayet. Welcome to my channel. While you're here, please like, share, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And leave a comment to let me know what you think of my content, okay? Please remember that I have ebooks for sale on Amazon under Sadi Phayet, ranging in price from $1.50 to $6.99. So check that out when you get a chance, and thank you in advance for your support. So as I mentioned on here, and I think I've even posted one of my tarot readings here, I have a tarot channel. I am a tarot reader. And one of the things, I haven't sorted my cards yet, but one of the things that is most prevalent in tarot is people's search for love. And so that's why either like they're looking for love or they're trying to figure out their relationship. There's something going on that is a mystery to them and they would like some insight, things like that. I don't go very, very deeply into the esoteric. I try to keep things very practical, real life. I'm looking for a card though. Here it is. So the best cards in the tarot deck have to do with the highest vibration of love or the highest experience you can have in a relationship, okay? And those cards have to do with cups. Cups represent love in tarot. I'm just going to show you some of the cards because what I want to talk about today has to do with, and it can just be just the worldly definition or understanding of love, even in that realm. Even if you're not someone that wants to get so deep into the process of your living, you just really want to understand, why do I keep having this particular experience? I'm not happy. How do I have happiness in love? Things like that. Because a lot of the things, and this is what I tell my children, a lot of what you get because of what you do. And that's just the truth. You can tell people I was not guilty of this in my relationship, but the proof is in the pudding, like they say, you know? So I don't argue with people anymore. I used to be the kind of person, just because I am very vocal, I am very expressive. So I used to be the kind of person that would say, "Oh, yeah, whatever, you're lying." At 53, right now I'm benefiting so much from my male friends. They don't know that I'm benefiting from them, but I am, because I'm on a journey. I'm seeking knowledge. I'm seeking understanding that I never, and even relationship that I never really sought in my past. And because of that, I need the male perspective. I need their energy. I get a lot of balance from men's energies. even if it's not romantic. Right now, I'm not even looking for romance per se, like romance, like please show up with some flowers, grand gestures, things. I have so much self improvement to do that, yeah, I'm just not. Not that I don't even know how to describe where I am. I just know that, yeah, this is all a process, man. I mean, it's a process for me, anyways. I don't know how other people feel about love. I know that a lot of people jump into love very quickly, very easily. That's not me. I do not. And so, because I don't, I, you know, I spend most of my time by myself, which is a very Pisces type of thing. That's how I'm happiest. I flow that way naturally. And because of that, man, I don't even know how to say, because I like my time by myself, I can probably disappoint a person or two, uh, who is sincere and just really wants to have a relationship with me, even if they're not ready. Okay, and so that brings me to my subject. My subject is, um, oh shoot, I didn't write it down. I already typed it into the video, but it has to do with, the art. You know, when authenticity in love is missing. You know, and this is the part one of a series. This has to do with independence, and so one of the things I know for sure that I've never really gravitated toward is men. There are men and women who stay in a relationship. If they break up with someone or someone breaks up with them, they already have a side person or a spare ready to go into relationship. And because of that, their relationship history is very random if they happen upon a good connection and, uh, sincere love. It's really out of luck, more so than because, of something that they've done right. Yeah, they just happened upon it. And to be honest, love can be a bit of a crapshoot, right? But we want to be able to cultivate, for those of us who do, we would like to be able to cultivate real love deliberately. Wouldn't that be nice? And that's such a powerful thing to be able to do. I know I want to, Right now I have so many Facebook friends on my writer's page that, most of the people that come to this channel are from that, uh, community. And as I work on myself, I'm like, man, there's so many evolved men and men that have taken care of themselves into their late years, and that are educated and talented. I mean, just there's so many potential partners who are still single, or some of maybe who are divorced or widowed or whatever their circumstances, but who are available, and some who are not available. And I would never pursue, a man that is not available, but or want him to pursue me. So I have faith, is my point, that I will meet a really wonderful partner, to live out the rest of my life with. And even though at times there are people that show up and want to offer that, immediately, to me, it's not a sprint. I've never been in a hurry for it, and I'm not in a hurry now. And when I say that, I might mean that I would like to be friends with someone for a year or two, like for real. Even if it's for a year, just authentically friends, though. I think there's power and peace in being alone. If you're a male or a female that's never allowed yourself to just be by yourself, whether you're dependent on, and there's a lot of men and women that are materially dependent on their partner, that if they don't have a partner in their life, they don't have a way to live on their own. And God, that's so hard. Like, do you know the lack of freedom you have when you are materially dependent on another person? I've never let myself be that way. Like, I have a friend right now who's actually an ex, and one thing I can say about him is I think the one time he ever, and not that he was dependent on his partner, but it was just that they were sharing expenses. And then he went through medical issues. And this person, she got rid of him in the midst of him going through medical issues. That's just some trifling shit. But what I admire about him is even though he's never made a lot of money, he's always been independent. He's always, um, yeah, had his own place to live, chosen the neighborhood, now lives in the most beautiful neighborhood in the city where I'm from. And I just admire that. I do, because I also have friends that had to be, um, at least in current times, very dependent on others. And that's hard. I know how hard that is. I've done it only in spurts. I've always taken people in, though, and I've never made it hard on someone that I'm helping. But everybody's not like that. Everybody does not have that level of grace and purity of giving. Most people don't. Most people do not. They make you know that they are helping you out. And that's just, oh my God, talk about a ball buster. Even if for a woman, you busted my balls. For me, and I don't even have balls, but it's just something that is such a daily knock to your freedom, man, to your not self-esteem, because I'm sure anybody that loves themselves is not going to allow somebody to totally bring them down. But it is, that's some bullshit you got to put up with every day. And yeah, every day. And I haven't stayed with a lot of people where I'm dependent on them materially, where I'm not paying rent or paying rent and bills and we're not roommates. I haven't had a lot of that. I've only had that. Maybe I stayed with my mother for 2 years, and that's because I was a parent. I've worked 2 or 3 jobs in my life to be independent. I don't just stay with people and not contribute or don't have work. I don't. Yeah, that's just not me. Um, I've stayed with a sister of mine before, but again, I was working and I was working towards getting my own place, and I moved out. And it was because I was transitioning from moving back home from another state. So yeah, things like that is the only way. But And I'm not saying that to say that I'm better than anybody that has had, limited means, because we all have different phases that we go through in life. Sometimes we're much more prosperous than we are at other times. And it's God, it can be so demeaning where you have to do. You know what I mean? There's a difference between what I feel like doing and what I have to do because I'm obliged to you. I've never, ever, ever in my life wanted to feel that way. I remember when I was 10 years old, and this is a petty thing to hold against a parent, but I had a very independent spirit from a baby, I think. And it's because of what my mother went through when she was pregnant with me. I've talked about it before. She wanted her and my father to get their own place. They were staying with his mother, and she just was not happy. So that feeling of being trapped, and not trapped, but she left like after I was 4 weeks, something like that. Um, I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate anything that is outside of my own decision to submit to a certain thing. You don't get to take my power, my freedom, my choice away. Never, ever, ever. Never. That's not love at all. Because I love me, so I know what love is. When you want to diminish me, confine me, any of that bullshit, you don't love me, and I don't want to be with you. If I need you for something and you are not evolved enough to help me just out of the kindness of your heart and the ways that I've helped people, I've man, I've given so much money to people, especially family members, but even friends, and never asked for it back. Like never asked. I didn't even think about it after I gave it. But what brought it to mind was in recent years where I've sorely needed help. And I've have found the same people that I've always helped or have helped greatly. And this is just as a lesson, okay, to those of you who find yourselves having to be beholden to others. People never give things back in as pure a manner as it was given. Ever, never, ever, hardly ever. Sorry, but that's not why we give. We give because that's in our heart to do so. Um, that's one of the greatest things you could ever be and do in this life is to give something just because someone needs help. Okay. So, anyway, but this particular talk is about independence. So, when you find that you're in a state of lack, you're in a state of need, that is the worst time to go looking for love, because that's going to be a love that's contrived. It's not even contrived. You might not even put on a facade of love. It just may be a transaction. For a lot of women, it's, yeah, you're just going to be ready sex whenever I need it. You know, you're just the hole that I'm, god damn, you're just a vagina to me. Whatever service that this person, excuse me, that he wants to receive from you, that's what you are going to provide. If you're a male and you find yourself in reduced circumstances and maybe have for a while, but you like to live in a nice place and you don't want to impose on family, or maybe family is sick of you imposing on them and has said, you got to get out of here. The next thing you're going to go looking for is a woman who has, money and a nice place. Probably an ex, most likely. Most men, especially if you're a mature age, 30 something and up, you're going back to an ex. You're going back to an ex, you know, especially an ex that has not had a partner for a long time. That means you're about to be willing to provide ready sex for a nice place to stay. And you already know her temperament. You already know, her lifestyle. If she's fun, you're going to choose the exact right one that gives you the best. Sometimes that best choice, the easiest choice, the one that's just cool people, is not available. Because if she's really cool people, she's really easy to get along with. Most likely she's been swooped up a long time ago. People like that don't stay single. They don't, unless that's just their choice, like in my case. But like women like me that come with a high degree of friendship, you know what I mean, of open communication, love to laugh, get along with anybody, so you can take them around anybody, and it's not going to be some insecure accusations all the. Mm-mm. We don't usually stay single long. And I can tell you right now, I have people that want a relationship with me, but I'm not ready. There are just certain things. I'm not going to get into a relationship and, yeah, my ducks aren't in a row. You know what I mean? I have some tweaking to do when it comes to my physical appearance. Like I have things I'm not satisfied with at 53 that I never had to question at 38, at 39. You know what I mean? I don't like that I have moles. I want to be smaller than I am. I've always been very small, very fit. And right now, I'm more chubby than that. And even though there are dudes that are like, shoot, I like a woman with some meat on her bones. Yeah, but what about me? If I don't like to be a certain size, then I'm not going to share what I don't like. That's not going to be happy for me. Shit. And that's my starting point. But on the back to the topic at hand is I'm very independent. Like my home is mine. I don't have anybody in my space trying to play the man, authority figure, telling folks what to do. My children and I have a high level of peace unless we are having some conflict. Other than that, our routine is easy. It's the same every day. Even the conflict in the house between my children, it's the same bullshit, you know. So I tweak it. Nope, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. Go to your room. I don't want to hear that. But for the most part, yeah, simple living, easy peasy. To bring another person into the mix where now I have to share my time with that person and my between that person and my children. And not that I don't have people in my life that are protective of me and my children. I do. I do. Because I keep male friends. I do. I keep multiple male friends. And sincere. I'm sincere in being their friends. If I can help them in any way when it comes to advice, I do. I don't give money to men. I don't do that. I mean, if I had um, more money, which I'm working towards building that, and I had a friend that was sincerely in trouble and needed a little bit of money, something I could afford, I would give it. And in a friend, as a friend, I would. But to just be giving money to men, I don't do that. I've never done that ever, and I don't take money from men either. I don't depend on men for money. Never. Mm-mm. I had a friend, the friend I fell in love with, who eventually I hope we'll get back to just being really good friends. He offered, he offered to send me some money. But after I slept on it, I just couldn't, even though I needed it at the time, I could not reconcile myself to be in that kind of flow with him. I just, even I had a sister that was paying my phone bill for some months, and I stopped it because I have mastered my budget. Like my budget, I live on a budget, and the little money I do make when I make a profit from my writing or on my tarot channel, it comes in, but I keep my expenses down, like very simple. The things I absolutely need, I keep them down to that, and I'm consistent with that because I like to be on my own. I don't like anybody to think they can come in and censure me. Like I can't be free to speak my mind and my heart when I need to. I can't be free to check you when you out of pocket in my life. When I'm not, if I'm not treating you a certain way, don't bring that shit to me. And I need to have the freedom to be able to say that. Everybody does. So this is why I want to have this talk, especially because I know women get this message, even though we still run toward having somebody taking care of us. We still run toward that. It's in our nature, but things are so grimy today that it would behoove you in whatever humble way you can is to be independent. Be independent Because love doesn't come in a transactionary way, as a transaction. Even some people will contrive their relationship and let it start like that, and that's fine, because most likely there's an agreement at the beginning. See, a woman that is fully grown woman and says, no, he needs my assistance. I love him. He loves me. We're in love. I'm not going to just leave him out there, because some people are skinless. They will drop you like a bad habit, not caring. This is not a friend. This is not a true friend. This is not someone in a relationship with you that really loves you. Someone that will sabotage your life and make you homeless, or make you have to go begging back to family who's rolling their eyes behind your back. Some families are just close and got each other's back. Some do. And it's what makes it sickening when it's not there is knowing the ones, having seen families that are there for each other like that. And I've seen a lot of not a lot. I can't say a lot, I'm sorry. But I have seen, if you're a sincere person, if they've known you to be honorable all your life and have been giving, to them, to the family, yeah, they're going to have your back. So there are families like that. And then there are some families that are just dysfunctional. Regardless of how often you've had their back, they don't have yours. Okay? And so in those, whatever your circumstances, I just think it's wise to have your own place to live, have your own source of income. Because when you start to say, I want to be like I would really love to experience real love, like I would. That's me, I would, but I'm 53 wanting this. So there are going to be some difficulty factors. There are going to be the fact that I'm 53. I do not look like a 30-year-old. Well, 30 something, some men say. But I don't look like I'm in my 20s. When I was 38, I looked like I was in my 20s. So my goal now as 53 and upwards, I want to look like I'm in my 30s. That's my goal. So I'm not going to, allow someone to convince me to get into a relationship with them, especially someone that's known me before when I was, at my best, which I didn't give up till I had children late. And when you do anything late, your body's recovery is not very fast. Okay? That's just keeping it on the real. So, but I'm saying that to say I refuse to put myself in a situation where someone's like, God, I remember when you ain't gonna have shit to say to me, especially if you well maintained. Shit, no, I'm not putting myself in a situation like that, and neither should you. We need to stop doing that. That's what you don't get to be authentic in a relationship and just focus on really digging a person unless you are a match. If that person keeps themselves in a 10 condition, I mean a 10 like the grade of attractiveness is a 10. You're a 10. Men used to always tell me I was a 10. I was in my late 30s. Young dudes. Ma, you a 10, you a dime. I'm just like, okay, I don't know what that means. You talking in coins, but I'm old enough to be your mother, so focus on what we're here to do business about. I was registering them for college and shit, but they were, young adult students. They weren't like 18-year-olds or nothing. But so yeah, man, don't give up your freedom. And I'm talking to men big time, because a lot of you, man, are laying the pipe with someone that you may even have a history with and have genuine love with, but it's not genuine enough that you want to live with them, marry them. You know what I mean? So you one foot out the door, just doing this work of laying the pipe and shit. That's not, man, that's not an ideal. That's not, I would not. If all we doing is fucking, that's all we gonna do. I've already spent a lifetime on that. Not on one night stands, but just where I would have a lover for 7 months. 6 to 8 months, that was all I would give. I did not want a long-term relationship because people come with too much shit. And I didn't ever want to be stuck with nothing. I always kept my own apartment, always kept my own place, always. Always had my own vehicle, my own car. Not dependent on you for nothing. Because if we can't come as equals, where's the love gonna be? And that's not to say, I mean, today you do have men who take care of the home and the family. I don't think that's a bad thing, especially if he's really doing that shit. Like if he's really good at it and doing it, okay, somebody has to do it. If she's a doctor or a CEO, you don't have time. She does not have time to raise a family. But if he is good at it, he's trustworthy with their children, he's creating them, bringing in, helping them to bring about their best lives, then that's a good father. That he's doing a good job at that. I'm not going to say, no, you're not a real man. No, I don't believe in that. I think that is a good man. He's doing what he does best. In that particular relationship that they've made an agreement on. Most of the time, men like that had a career before. Before that relationship, they had a career, they knew how to work. So that's not the same. But we have to be real about what we want when we talk about love. And if you're just not into love, stop running love game, breaking hearts, because that shit's gonna bite you in the ass. It used to be back in like the 30s and shit. Man, people will become obsessed, especially when men would, have multiple girlfriends and a wife. And then the wife, because her husband has so many girlfriends, she would also have a lover. And then it would come about that the lover wanted more and you wouldn't give him more. And what happened was that lover would kill you, male or female. That would end up being the straw that broke somebody's back. That's drama. That's not true love. That's not high vibrational love. That's worldly pursuits. That's what's easy to find. You can easily find a woman, and some people think, no, that's a good woman. It's hard to find a woman that's gonna stick with you even through your bullshit. No, it's not. No, it's not. Mm-mm. No, it's not. It's not. Most players that want to be married are married. It did not. It was not hard. They know the types of women, mostly that go to religion or are religious, okay, are the ones that get married to these players because, and I said this in a previous video, you can be played and be the wife because you got chosen to play a particular role in his life for his stability, for the mother of his children. You were the type that he wanted the mother of his children to be. You were the type that he knew would stick by him through thick and thin, even though he's out here dating like he's single, dating women that are 10, 15 years younger than himself, fucking around, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Even fucking grimy women. That it's just like they bring so much drama and disturbance to the family. Because certain women, they don't give a fuck about your family. Matter of fact, the first chance they get to disrespect your wife, they taking that shit. And as decent as she keeps trying to be, is as grimy and low down as this side piece that you done stumbled across is gonna try and be. and you almost don't even care. It's just, no, none of that is high vibrational, not divine, not spiritual, not godly, not nothing. Even if you are a member of a religious organization and that is the condition you keep your wife and family in, you grimy and worldly. There's nothing good about you when it comes to that. Nope, no thank you. Another thing when it comes to it being independent on your quest for love is if somebody is addicted to alcohol and or drugs and you know it at the beginning, well, it seems like he drinks some. Do you think a male or a female is going to say out of their mouth to someone they're interested in, yeah, I do? They're not going to admit to that. They're trying to seal the deal. They're trying to make the sale. Stop. This is why you need time by yourself, because you need to become rational before being open to real love. Okay? You need to learn some lessons. Let your lessons be learned outside of the serious relationship. Just date. Even if you find a connection, it's like, God, we got chemistry. Man, the sex is popping. Oh, I feel like I'm falling in love with him. He acts like he loves me. That sometimes, you know, people sincerely do fall in love with you. But if you don't know the difference between the game of love, that man, there are players that practice in the fucking mirror and have been doing it since they were in middle school or that age. Back in the day, we didn't have middle school. We went through kindergarten through 8th grade in one school, at least in my city. But I know small towns have always had a middle school, that type of thing. So, but I'm saying around that 12-year-old mark, these boys and girls already know how to keep a team of people interested in them, falling in love with them, because they just want to have sex with you, or they want to, for women, they want to run your pockets, men. They want to use, they using multiple. I've seen people on paternity court. And I have a friend on my writer's page. I call him my Facebook cousin. He cracks up that I quote fraternity court so much because I'm learning lessons about what this younger generation is about. And some older people too are caught up in it. But it's mainly these younger people. And sometimes these younger people get caught up with old dudes. And it's just sad because the old dudes are in old school, ways. These young girls and these young guys don't give a fuck about what you're on. If they not on what you're on, they don't care. You will be something to do. You will be somebody that just gave them a free trip somewhere. And once it no longer serves them, okay. If it breaks up your marriage, that's between you and your wife, really, because I don't want you. I mean, it's just callous. Man, I'm just, So maybe most people aren't looking for love. You know what I mean? That may be the thing. A lot of people are not looking for love. So that is a lesson for those of you who are. Personally, I'm willing to wait. If it doesn't happen this lifetime, okay. I bet I'll love myself, you know. I bet I'll teach my children to love themselves to a high degree. And I'll help them negotiate how to find a partner and how to cultivate marriage and family life. Okay? Marriage and family life. People that eschew stable family life and the satisfaction of raising a family, that's nothing you could ever depend on. You can't depend on that energy from that person. You don't know what the hell kind of toxic shit they come with. You can't be relied upon. You're unreliable. I remember when I was 10 years old, maybe 10 or 11, wherever it was that I first babysat, the first night I babysat and got paid, I think it was $40. I babysat for this one family. They had 5 children, and I babysat from the time they had 3 toddlers to the time they had all 5. So the last 3 I've known since they were babies. And the first time I babysat for them, I felt so proud of myself because I'm the second of 7. So already knew I knew how to take care of newborns. I knew how to take care of toddlers, to entertain them, to keep them happy, give them their baths, give them a snack, put them to bed. Because I was raised in a very, very strict home, very routine, stable life, right? Very routine. Things happened one day, same as they happened the day before. Any spontaneous things usually happened outside of the house with, childhood bullshit or whatever, the adventure of it all. But so I knew, but I felt so proud that I could be depended upon. I loved that I had that trait. I love that trait. I love that my children can rely on me and they know it. I never drop the ball. I never, but then I don't promise nothing I can't give. If we can't afford it, and that's how I talk to them. If we can't afford it, don't ask. You can ask me for, but I'm gonna have to tell you, baby, we can't afford that. Can you choose? Let's go shopping together online. And choose something that we can afford that you absolutely love, and that's kept them happy. Same thing with food. With anything, I show up and advocate for them when they were in the school system. I'm their biggest advocate. Their biggest advocate. What about you? What about when it comes to a relationship? I know now that I've been a mother for so long, I know I would be like that in a relationship with someone that is a true equal partner with me. I know I would. Because there are men out here that want relationship that probably feels like some of them feel like they've never been truly loved. And that's a sad condition, right? To feel like you've always been used or taken for granted or overlooked for somebody else. And a lot of women have experienced that. But when I'm learning from having my friends, even if it's not sexually, because, most of my friends are players, okay, former or current. Most of them a combination of the two. You used to be a player and you dabbled again or whatever. People don't ever really tell you the truth of it, but I know because I can read between the lines. I have a lot of experience, but I'm drinking my broth. Um, but yeah, it's important to be independent. It's important to have your own everything. When you are, when someone is providing you with a car, with money to get around in your day, with, you know, where you have to give them sex when they want it, you're a slave, man, male or female. I'm sorry to tell you, you are a slave. That is slavery. That is slavery. I would rather be by my damn self, okay? I really would. I've been alone most of my life. I have peace alone. Ain't nobody coming in my home or in my day, yeah, demanding me to do shit for them they could do for themselves and shit. Mm-mm. And that's not to say you can't have a life partner where you help each other, but the first leg of the journey should be you doing that for yourself first. It should be me. I've started the building blocks for my business, for trying to find a teaching job. I'm going to have 3 streams of income. 2 I'm already pursuing. One I've been pursuing for a year. The other one I've been pursuing for almost 3 months. My third one I've qualified for with my work history. I have more than 20 years of work history, solid work history. So if you haven't had a solid work history, you could start today. Put your pride aside, man or woman. Start today. If you have any credentials at all, any training, apply at a business where that training is valuable and start from the ground up. I promise you will move up, especially if you have any kind of work ethic. If you're just going to be there acting silly, being stereotypical to your race, slacking off, socializing, fucking around in stairwells and shit, you're not going to get far. And nobody's going to want that kind of partner. But if you truly want a life partner, build yourself up to be someone who would be an asset to another person that they love. I'm not taking on dead weight personally. Even if initially someone needed a place to live and they have to have a plan though, and not even a verbal plan. I mean, I'm too old. And I'm not going to disrupt my children for anybody. I don't even know that I want anybody in my home. You know what I mean? I really, like, for a while, want to stay friends with most of my friends. If I choose a lover, it'll be from among my friends and shit. Once I'm ready for that. And if I choose a relationship, I don't know if it probably will be from among my friends, because I believe, if you're friends first, love is easy. It's not a big leap to find love if you're already friends. If you already know each other, you have an open communication because you know each other. At least you know each other on a basic level. You have an ease with each other if you have that. Okay. So, anywho, I'm not going to go on any further, but independence is very important. We need to stop, with the drama. If you love drama, keep doing what you do. If you want real love in your life, which is what I am on, which is what I am talking about, which is what I am learning about through my own experiences, through things I'm researching. There's so much information out there. YouTube is the center of the universe for anything you could ever want to pursue, including love. And if you're not a punk and you're sincere about cultivating a high level of love, just like you can cultivate a high level of money, you can cultivate a high level of skill, you can cultivate a high level of education and accomplishment. Put the same energy into love. Damn, you got to live with somebody. You got to be able to trust them around your children. Or if you have children with them, you got to be able to trust them. So take your time. But build yourself up to be something, even if it's just something basic and practical, stable. Create that for yourself. Stop leaning on anybody else, because when you do, you're a slave. Let me know what you think of this video. Peace.